Hey everybody, Michelle with Michelle's for a Living here, and thanks for watching my videos, and happy moon landing day. So it is July the 20th of 2019, and today's the 50th anniversary of Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong walking on the moon at the first moon landing. So yeah, pretty exciting day, and I think NASA's planning another moon trip like in 2024 or something like that, so that'll be exciting too. Okay, yeah, so I wanted to chat about my diet, losing weight, healthy eating, getting healthy plan I'm on, and yeah, my lazy keto. And also I went to the two farmers markets again this morning, so I thought I'd share with you what I got. I had some people ask what kind of stuff that I'm actually eating, and so I thought I'd talk about that a little bit and where I'm at this week. So yeah, and excuse me if I'm a little bit red and sweaty. It's like 87 degrees and 10 o'clock. You know, it's like, it's been so hot this week. And yeah, and the heat index is just like crazy over 100 all week. Yeah, so first I just wanted to mention, I got out my food journal that I had started back in November the 28th last year. So I started, and I've done food journals before, and I use them more than food journals, like how I'm feeling, because you know, I was having a lot of migraines, and you know, some things were upsetting my stomach, and I was, you know, I started a food journal to kind of keep track of how I was feeling, and maybe, you know, the things that were going on in my life, that maybe in what I was eating, to see if something was triggering my feeling bad. So so anyways, and then I wanted to also, you know, start keeping track of what I was eating, so I could maybe encourage myself to eat better. So so yeah, I started it, and then about back in the end of May, well, the beginning of May, I kind of dropped off of using it, and I got it out and I was looking at it because I wanted to start writing in it again, and I realized that like the last 2 months, when all my major changes in my eating habits happened, I didn't get them recorded, and because I was kind of looking back over what it was I was eating, and back at the beginning of May is when I really started changing my breakfast habits, and eating eggs for breakfast instead of junk food. So anyways, I'm kind of sad I didn't get it recorded, like, so I could have seen the real progress that I have made in the last 2 months. So anyways, I got it out because I mentioned the last time that, you know, my pants were a lot looser, and I had lost quite a bit of weight since the beginning of the year when I really started trying, and so I wanted to measure my middle, and I knew I had written it down in here. And a couple of months ago, I had measured my middle, and it was like 40 inches, which is like big. Okay, so and unhealthy to have that much belly fat. So I measured, and I'm down to 39 inches, which is really fabulous. So yeah, and I can tell my pants are a lot looser around my thighs as well, so it's been working. And I have to tell you, and I want to stress this, I don't think I actually really stressed this in any of my videos that I've talked about this so far. I've done all this by just changing what I was eating, pretty much since, you know, the beginning of the year. Not because I've been exercising anymore. And if anything, I've actually exercised less because I've really cut back on my shopping. I used to go out shopping for, you know, like 5 days a week, and I would walk around at least an hour most evenings. And I know it wasn't like constant, you know, cardio workout like that, but at least it was me going out and shopping and walking around for an hour. And then on Sundays, I would like shop for like 5 or 6 hours. I'd be out running around doing stuff for like that long, and I don't do that. Like, that is cut at least in half or less than half, and I really haven't picked up extra activity to compensate for that drop in activity, and yet I'm losing weight purely by changing what I eat. And the biggest things that I can say for you to do to get yourself started, what I started on was cutting out the foods I knew I shouldn't have, right? I started cutting back on desserts, okay? I didn't need those. I cut back on snacking, eating cookies and having that kind of stuff around. I started cutting out processed food. That took me several months. That's working over time. Not to say that I don't eat processed food. There's some that I still have been eating. Salad dressing, which I'm working on getting rid of my stockpile of salad dressing, and when I do, I'll just start making my own oil and vinegar dressing, and which I used to do before I was couponing, but since I was started couponing, get free or near free salad dressings, and it was just easier than me making my own and a lot cheaper, right? So anyways, getting rid of that too, but just a few things. But for the most part, I am eating meat and vegetables, some fruit, and some dairy products. So, yeah, big difference. Cutting out sugar, sources of sugar. I've cut out the potatoes, starchy items is what it is. Potatoes, pasta, rice, yeah, wheat products, bread. I've really cut off on those. And if you start cutting those things out of your diet, and sugar, okay, the big thing for me was getting rid of the big red soda. Okay, I was drinking at least one a day. Some days I would have 3, cans of soda, and that's a tremendous amount of sugar that my body didn't need. The changes that have happened because of that, I mean, I said last week my skin feels better. It's like it's just incredible. I also noticed this last week that just pushing on my belly fat, like, it's a lot, it feels different. It's not stiff and firm as it was. It's like, I don't want to say it's spongy, but it's like, I don't know, the density of my belly fat has changed. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's like a thing or not, but anyways, it's just, I feel so much better, okay? Other than these last 2 days. So Thursday, I spent like 4 hours out in the heat. I knew I was going to be doing it, and it was so hot. The heat index was up over 100, and I had drank extra leading up to it before I went out there, and I drank like 2 16-ounce bottles of water while I was out in the heat, and it I don't know if it just wasn't enough. It just really hit me, because I sat in air conditioning all day, which I just don't think is healthy to sit in, especially when it's this hot to sit in air conditioning. That I ain't got a choice at work. It is what it is. So yeah, people get mad when I turn the thermostat up. So anyways, yeah, so yesterday on Friday, I just felt so horrible. I went to work, but I left early. So like for the last 2 days, my eating has gotten screwed up off of my schedule. And I tell you what, it's really helped me sticking to a schedule. Once I got myself to this point, it was like I cut out the snacking. That was a big step for me. And changing my breakfast habits, and actually, frying a couple of eggs and eating those for breakfast really started changing things in the way that I was looking at changing my whole diet and everything. So, yeah, later on, after a while, I was able to cut back on how much I was eating for breakfast. I went from eating 2 eggs and a slice of cheese down to 1 egg and a slice of cheese, and eventually then I just quit eating breakfast altogether. So I don't eat breakfast unless I'm hungry. If I feel hungry, then I will eat something, but I rarely get hungry anymore. It is what it is. I didn't think that I would ever get to that point. I think before I started doing this, I never let myself get hungry. Okay, and because I was eating so much, so frequently, you know, it was like I never allowed myself to be hungry. And I think it's a good thing to let yourself get to the point where you are hungry, and then that could be a way that you could start working on, like, deciding when you need to eat or how much you actually need to eat, because you know, I guess I've lived under this delusion that I needed to eat. Okay, right? We do need to eat, right? But do I need to follow 3 meals a day? You know, does it have to be that way? And it does not have to be that way. And I had to get myself out of that notion and everything. So I think it really helped to just figure out how much my body wants to eat and work with that. I probably could eat more calorie wise. I haven't been tracking. That's why I say I do lazy keto, because I'm not tracking what I'm eating. I'm just kind of following guidelines of keto, eating meats and vegetables and some dairy, healthy fats. So I incorporate olive oil into my cooking. I found at Dollar Tree last week, they had like, you know how you get Pam? It's vegetable oil. I'm trying not to eat vegetable oils. That they had a spray can of coconut oil as opposed to having vegetable oil in you know, so like if I just needed that to get a little bit of oil in a pan so whatever I'm frying doesn't stick or whatever. So because I'm not baking cakes, okay, I'm not making brownies anymore, so I really don't need the pan per se, but I thought if I needed a little bit, and like, oh, I was putting something in the oven, and I just wanted to spray the cookie sheet just so it didn't stick, and when I was baking some vegetables. So yeah, coconut oil, olive oils, that kind of thing I've incorporated in my diet. Something I started several years ago when I first started hearing about it was pink Himalayan sea salt, and it has a lot of minerals in it that you just aren't going to get other places and stuff like that. And so I started using it several years ago, and that's one thing that I see a lot of keto people talking about, and nutrition people saying, you know, add that. And salt is not your enemy. I have to get myself over some of these conventional ideas that our society has put on us, that all fats are bad, and you know, cholesterol's bad, and salt's bad, and eating meat is bad, and yada yada, and it goes on and on. And so I still find myself thinking those things sometimes, and I see people talk about it, and I, you know, anyways, it is what it is. Okay, I've been rambling for a long time here, and I haven't showed you what I got at the farmer's market. So I did get some exercise this morning out in the heat and did some sweating. So I bought a whole bunch of beets. I've eaten beets, but other people have cooked them, and I don't really like them, but I'm thinking everything's changing for me, and yeah, so I haven't completely decided how I'm going to eat those. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ferment them. I haven't ever mentioned this in a video before, but I started fermenting vegetables back in February, I guess, and been trying it out, and I do like it. I think fermenting. I've been eating kimchi for quite some time, years, but I would just buy it at the store, and I was like, you know, I think I could make my own kimchi. So hey, what do? You watch some YouTube videos, right? And so I made some kimchi, and I really liked it. I've shared it with some other people, but eating fermented food gets natural probiotics in your body, as opposed to buying pills and eating probiotics out of a pill. So I fermented cucumbers. Actually, the last farmer's market 2 weeks ago when I showed you that, those cucumbers I fermented those and made pickles. I do carrots and cauliflower, onion, and celery mix, and I really like that. So, anyways, I think I'm gonna ferment these beets because I'm not sure I like beets, and I don't want to can stuff. If you do traditional canning, and so stuff is being heated up, you're killing all of the natural bacteria on it that our body needs. And if you have gut problems, digestive problems, and you're taking probiotics, you might look into eating some fermented food. I think eating yogurt is very helpful too if you get the ones that have the live cultures in them. When I started eating yogurt, a decade ago or whatever, a couple decades ago, it really changed my insides. But anyways, I got this button squash, which I don't know that I've ever eaten one of these, and I'll have to look and see how I'm going to cook that. I don't know. I also got a spaghetti squash. Let's see. I got a pound of freshly picked green beans, and I got a big old bag of kale, which I forgot to buy kale last time, and I was at the store and I forgot to buy kale, but kale is really good for you. I just chop it up a little bit and stick it on my salad. I used to make smoothies, which I could get back into. I just have to be careful not use a lot of fruit in them. But kale works good if you're making smoothies, or if you got soup, just chop it up really, really small and stick it in some soup. Of course, it's too hot for soup, and I'm really sad because I want to eat soup, but it's too hot. I got these little squashes, and finally, I spent quite a bit of money on some grass-fed beef, and I got that. But so a couple of years ago, or whenever it happened, I've been sick over eating beef, and it just literally makes me sick for 2 days. So I've really cut beef out of my diet. And anyways, when I was at the farmer's market, I thought I can get some pasture raised. Maybe since it's been so long, I've changed my diet, I'm eating different. I think I'm ready to try beef again and see if it affects me. So I thought I'd get some pasture raised beef that doesn't have all the hormones and grain-fed beef, traditional beef you'd buy at the store. So, and I will do that under controlled environment so that I'm not going anywhere after I eat it in case something happens to me. So, I think I had an allergic reaction to beef last time I really ate a hamburger. So anyways, so that's what I got today. As for when I eat lunch between 1 and 2, and then I eat dinner sometime between 6 and 9 at night. Just depends on what's going on. If I've been out shopping, my man's his schedule and stuff like that, and sticking to that schedule, no snacking, nothing in between, and that way I'm not having insulin spikes, and that's part of it to start burning the fat off of your body. So every time you eat something, even if it's just a little bit, it's triggering your body that, hey, it's time to eat, and it starts producing insulin, and you're not burning off the fat in your body. So, and I think this is why I'm losing weight, is because I'm controlling when I eat, and I'm not spiking out my insulin 6 times a day like I used to, so because it never gives your body time to recuperate. That's what I can tell you I do. I the only thing I drink is water, or I make some hot tea and put ice in it right now, and no sugar. So I don't drink coffee, but coffee is acceptable on keto diet if you want to do that. But you really cut out the sugary drinks, cut out all that, just cut out sugar. And I tell you what, I most days I'll just eat like 1 or 2 strawberries, a couple of blueberries, maybe, not a couple, like, I don't know, maybe 20 or so blueberries, if that, or some blackberries if I've got them, that kind of thing. And that's where my main sugar source is coming from. But cut out the apples, the bananas, the oranges, and I say I cut them out. I've cut out this stuff for right now. It doesn't mean forever. Okay, while I'm trying to lose the bulk of my weight, I have to maintain you know, be strict on myself right now. Okay, and if I don't ever want to eat another apple in my life, I won't eat an apple. But I'm not saying that's ever going to happen. But for right now, this is what I need to do. So, all right, I think my video's long enough today. Plus, I got to get out of this heat and everything. So, all right, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.